All right, all right, all right. I am really excited today to have Julie Riley on board with me here in our studio hours on April 26th, 2023. And Julie's going to present a really cool show. She is the StreamYard social media and community manager, and her presentation is called Using StreamYard to Build Your Brand and Community with Live Video. So welcome to the show, Julie. Really glad to have you here.
Hello, I'm so excited to be here and excited to get to share what I know with everyone that's out here.
Yeah, great. Well, I'm going to tell folks a little bit about you. I'm going to go to this other page and read a little bit. Julie is an award-winning social media strategist with a passion for building community with live video. She's got over 15 years of experience in digital marketing. And as I mentioned, she's the social media and community manager for StreamYard itself. And check this out, you guys. She manages a community with over 25,000 members. So I'm really glad she's here today because I got to tell you that I am not really StreamYard proficient yet. I love practicing, but I haven't done it for a while. So I'm really glad to have Julie on board to bail me out in case I hit the wrong button or do something silly. So, and feel free if you're on one of the platforms, we're broadcasting to my Online Video Mastery Facebook page as well as YouTube. And if you have a comment, you want to make it, go ahead and make it there, and we'll see it in our stream here on the platform. And just put a Q in front of anything that you want to have Julie or maybe myself answer as we go through this. So anyway, welcome aboard, Julie. Thank you so much again for being here.
Of course.
Yeah, so let's see. I am going to, do you want to just go ahead and dive right in, or you want to start with any preamble?
We can dive right in, and that way we have time to kind of go over any questions that anybody has that's watching, or yourself, if you have any along the way. I am here to help.
Yeah, sounds good. And yeah, I'm glad you mentioned that. I am one of those people who I'm known for interrupting when you say something that I either think I want to learn more about, or I think somebody out there might want to learn more about. And so I will just pop in and just, so this is not a super formal presentation where you've got to wait till the end to get your answers. So just feel free to comment and we'll probably take questions as we go if they come up. All right, so let's see, Julie, so I go to the news layout, or which layout do I go to?
I can't see them and I can't remember the name of it.
That's
the other presentation one.
Yeah, the other presentation.
There we go. Right. One. Yeah, I know. I'm like, I don't have the names I should memorize those. I know where they are on my bar when I can see them.
Right.
When I'm in the guest view, it's a little different.
A little different, yeah.
I'm not used to being on this side of it. But we'll talk about this as we go through this presentation. But one of the things with StreamYard is that we want it to be easy to use. In fact, it's one of our pillars of StreamYard. So we make it so that it's fairly simple. And the best part is that as you're learning, as you're growing and getting more familiar with the tool, generally, our viewers are going to be forgiving. We're going to go, hey, I'm learning a new tool. I might click a wrong button. It's not expected to be perfect. So we'll preface this whole presentation with, if you have an idea of perfectionism in your head, throw it out. Okay? Because perfectionism doesn't exist and we're all human. And even I, who have been doing this for a long time, still can click the wrong button or forget to turn a banner off when I go to an end screen and it's on there. There's no such thing as perfect.
Gotcha. Good advice.
Yes. Ultimately, what we want you to do is to learn how to build your brand in your community with live video. And we'll go into all of these details, and it was kind of funny when you said that I manage the StreamYard community, which has over 25,000 members. I probably need to update that. I think we're up to over 27,000 now. That number keeps growing and it's amazing. It's been really fun to watch it grow. When I started with StreamYard, it was a baby community in the sense of, I say baby compared to what it is now. I think we had like 7,000. Wow. So it's been fun to grow that and really be a part of building that out.
That's so cool. And people can join the Facebook group, right?
Yes, they can join the Facebook group. If you're a current StreamYard user or you're just wanting to know more about how to use StreamYard, it is just search on Facebook the StreamYard community,
Hmm.
and it's that easy to find. It'll pop up, or if you go to StreamYard's page, there's the option to join the group there at the top. So we welcome
Cool.
everyone. So
Great.
let's get into this. You talked a little bit about who I am. And like I said, I probably need to update this to not say over 25,000 now, but I am the social media and community manager for StreamYard. I started with StreamYard in 2020 after owning my own agency, working for an agency, worked for Social Media Examiner. I've done work with the Small Business Administration and many other businesses local here to Wichita and national brands. So it's been fun growing this out as I've grown through my 15 plus years of digital marketing experience. I actually got my start in digital marketing with Harley Davidson. I
Oh,
was working for them, launching their e commerce program in the mid 2000s. And this was prior to website shopping. All of our e-commerce was set up and done through eBay. So
mm,
it was kind of an interesting process. We would get the orders in on eBay. I'd run downstairs, go grab it off a shelf, get it packed up with our shipping and receiving department. But I mean, we were really building that out. At that same time, Harley Davidson did launch their corporate e-commerce program that was able to be brought into individual dealerships. And we built that out for them as well. And that was really where I got that first taste of falling in love with digital marketing was with them. And
cool.
that was prior to social media marketing. Social media marketing wasn't even a thing yet. And after I left Harley Davidson and I was starting a family, I was looking for something to do while I could stay at home with my son while I was raising him. And I ended up being a hobby cake baker and decorator and
Hmm.
built that entire business on Facebook business pages right when they launched them. So we started with Instagram and then Facebook business pages. And that was where I kind of took that initial love of digital marketing and really transitioned it over into this love of social media. After that, after my son went to school, I went and worked for an agency, and that was 2015. And in 2015, Meerkat launched live video, and
Oh,
following
yeah.
shortly after was Periscope. That was the days of Blab. And then not long after that, Facebook Live came around. So this was like the wild, wild west of figuring out live video. What do we do with this thing? We have a phone, we can hold it up, we can record ourselves. We can kind of start to figure out how to do live video. And that was really where then it evolved into the next step of my career evolution was falling in love with live video and being able to do interviews. We had when I built my own agency, my business partner and I had two weekly live shows. One was marketing focused and then one was we called it our hug to the community, and it was a local community show where we were interviewing what other people in our community were doing to promote them. So it was kind of a fun way of really building out this live video experience. And then I'm a wife and a mom, and I've been married to my husband for 15 years, and my son is 13 now. It's crazy.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah.
So it's funny you mentioned Meerkat and those early kind of heady days. Just real quick, I think it might be valuable to just mention what live video actually is as compared to all this other kind of video that we're surrounded by. We teach everything in Video Creators Roadmap, and we don't actually have a focus on live. And I'm thinking now that we really need to build that in. But the definition, Julie, what would you say of live video as compared to everything else?
Well, the definition of live is exactly what we are doing right now. We hit a go live button. We are in real time. We are talking with each other. If people wanted to comment in the comments, we could interact immediately back with them. It becomes a two-way conversation. And you have this ability to really build out this rapport and build out your community and showcase your brand in a new light when you're going live. What I love about live is the authenticity of it. You can do a pre recorded video and get it slimmed down to exactly what it needs to be. But it is just that it is a pre recorded video. It needs to be short, concise, it needs to get to the point and convey its message. But with live, you're really getting that personal connection. You're getting that feel for who the person is. You're kind of getting a little bit more insight and a little bit more of that rapport building. So that is what I love about live. And the beauty of live is, and with the right tools, you can either go live to one place or you can go live to multiple places. We could go live, for instance, with StreamYard, we could go live to Facebook pages, Facebook profiles, Facebook groups, YouTube, uh, LinkedIn, Twitter, Twitch. I feel like I'm missing one. I don't know. So yeah, I know I'm missing one. But anyhow, you can go live to the whole gamut of channels there all at one time and really start to build this community across multiple platforms as well. So then you're not going, well, I only have to focus on Facebook or I only have to focus on LinkedIn. Now you can start to really develop this growth and this strategy across each channel. So
Gotcha.
with that, we'll talk about real quick what StreamYard is before we go into a little bit more things. Because, of course, my focus, being the social media manager for StreamYard, is utilizing StreamYard itself. But StreamYard is the easiest way to live stream and so much more. And we say and so much more because, yes, for this particular one, we are talking about live, but StreamYard will allow you to record. So it doesn't have to go live. You can make a recording and then upload it to YouTube later, upload it to a private community you have later. You can hold a meeting in there. So if you just needed it as your meeting format, we have webinars, podcast recordings, live video recordings. You can actually record a video and then upload it as what we call a pre-recorded live, meaning you send it out to the platforms in live, but it actually was pre-recorded. So that's a good use case for that is, let's say you had a show that was every Tuesday at 11 a.m., but you're going to be on vacation next Tuesday at 11 a.m. But
Mhm.
you want your show to still happen because you have built your community of
Mhm.
followers. They're showing up every Tuesday at 11 a.m. and you don't want them to get out of the habit of showing up. So you preface it though, and you tell them, hey guys, I'm going to be on vacation, but I haven't forgotten about you. I still have a show for you and it's going to air live. It will just not be a live show. So you won't get me interacting back with you, but it'll be there for you. And that way you can still send it out at the exact time. You can still send it out like a live and have that opportunity to not miss out on your time. And there's so many other use cases for that pre-recorded. So
Cool.
we also have repurposing options where you can repurpose in short form vertical video to like TikTok's Reels and YouTube Shorts. You can trim down your video files at the end for your own repurposing, send them straight to Adobe Premiere for file editing. Local recordings, which gives you the individual isolated recording of yourself and the individual isolated recording of your guests. So if you said, hey, I just want to record only what my guest is saying so that I'm going to take all of their clips and use those. It's so much easier to edit that format in the repurpose side of things. So
Wow.
much more. Now, we have three pillars of StreamYard. Everything we build at StreamYard must fall into these three pillars or we don't build it. And the first is ease of use. And we said that at the beginning. We want StreamYard to be user friendly, simple, easy to use. It's drag and drop, easy clicking. There's not a lot of funky buttons. You know, I like to say you take Adobe Premiere or you take Canva. and that you cut us down here. We don't want to be complicated. We want it to be able to be used by all users. Reliability is one of our big keys. So that's the other thing is that we have to have a reliable and stable platform. There are tons and tons of features we get asked for all the time. And we're like, we would love to bring that feature to the studio. However, it would cause the reliability of the studio to be compromised. So we can't. And then professional looking streams. And we want it, again, to fall into that easy way to make it be professional, to have your background, to have your logo in there, to be able to add slides, just like what we have here, and really create that professional look. So we are web-based video production. There is nothing that you have to download. You go to StreamYard.com and you access your studio. You can access it from your phone, from a tablet, all through the web-based browsers. So if you're on an iPhone, you go through Safari. If you're on an Android, you go through Google Chrome. If you're on a computer, Google Chrome is generally the most stable, but you can use many of the other browsers out there. And then we want to simplify that video production. We want to make this so that you can really get in here, whether you have a lot of experience with video production or a little, and hit that go live button and get going with it. And then the intuitive interface that's easy to use, that it creates these engaging videos that we have the ability to where if people are commenting in the comments, we could bring their comments up on the screen. We can really start to talk back and forth. You saw at the beginning, Chuck had brought a banner up that had what the presentation was going to be talking about. So we can really start to add all that in. And there's so many other features as far as you can have countdown timers, videos. So if you had a sponsor highlight video or a commercial or an ad you wanted to showcase for your brand, you can really start to get customized with all of those pieces to it. So the key features that we talked about a little bit already, and we'll kind of skim through this one quickly and move on, is live video, recording, webinars, events just like this one. So you can start to, and then your events can go to multiple places. So you can set your event up as a webinar and collect lead generation, but you can also broadcast it to Facebook, YouTube, LinkedIn, and have it go to multiple destinations. So it can do both at one time. And then at the end, it will create the recording and you get that ability. So you can just record without going live, or you can go live and get your recording. So you're kind of getting all of those pieces with those. But really, we're here to talk about the community side of it. So let's first, before we talk about how to build your community, let's talk about why it is so important to build this community. I always love this quote: alone we can do so little, together we can do so much. And that really speaks to what the power of your community is. Your community is everybody that interacts with your brand, and everybody that interacts with your brand consistently, multiple times. They come back for more. It is not just your Facebook group. It is not your circle community. Those are your community spaces as well. But your community is everybody who is watching your live show on YouTube or Facebook, everybody who is interacting in the comments on a post you made. Those are your community members. They are your people who are following and interacting with your brand in the first place. And the more you can provide them value and reason to keep coming back and interacting with your brand, they are your community. They're the ones that when somebody says, hey, I'm looking for a new live streaming tool, our community members at StreamYard are all going to yell out, StreamYard, StreamYard. You know, I hear it all the time. I use Agora Pulse for all of our social media management at StreamYard and have been using it for years. And you'll see the same thing when somebody says, what's a social media management tool I should be looking at? You see everybody yelling out Agora Pulse, Agora Pulse. And it's because we and Agora Pulse and so many other brands have built a strong community of people that are coming back time and time again and want to share with others that, hey, this is a really good option for you. So community is important because it's going to give you the chance to connect with potential customers and supporters. And what that really means is as you're building this community, when you get them into your private Facebook group, they've gone through many other steps of becoming a community member prior to getting there. They didn't just wake up one day and say, I think I'll go find a live stream community to join. Oh, this looks like a good one, and randomly jump in. No, they have been along the line road with you. They've either signed up for your product and figured it out that way, or they've been interacting with your brand on Facebook pages, interacting with you on live streams, and oftentimes interacting with you before they become a customer. So this is where they're a potential customer, and you can really start to build their loyalty and trust so they become that customer, so they become that lifelong community member. You're going to get the chance to share your story and connect with people who may be interested in what you have to say. Now, we're going to talk about this one a little bit later, but one of the things I always get with people when they're starting to get started with live video is they go, but I don't have anything to say. I don't have anything to talk about on live video. My business is boring. Guys, I am friends with a plumber who just got asked this past week to go on the Today Show because of he's built his entire plumbing and his entire brand about going live, and he goes live to talk about plumbing and plumbing issues and things that other
Wow,
people can know. If a
that's so
plumber
cool.
can go
That's
live
so
every
cool.
week and make being asked to go on the Today Show,
That's amazing.
then everybody has something to talk about,
Oh,
okay?
wow. Yeah.
Yeah, like, I've one of my clients when I worked at an agency was a wastewater treatment plant. It kind
Hmm.
of falls along that same plumbing thing. We had things for them to talk about. They were reaching out to municipality communities, and by going live and getting in there and being able to communicate with these smaller town municipalities, they were able to get their product in front of the right people. And then building trust and credibility with these potential customers. It is like marketing 101. People are going to buy from somebody they know, like, and trust. It's like, I think it's like the first page of every marketing book. It should be. Um, but they're going to buy from people they know, like, and trust. And again, I said the difference between live video and recorded video is polished, it's edited. You've removed all the ums and the so's and the filler words, and you've gotten yourself looking, TV studio perfect, and you're ready to go. And it is perfection. And that's okay. There's a place for that. But if you really want people to know you and really want them to get to like you and trust you and feel comfortable with you, then live video is one of the fastest ways to do that because you're speaking directly to your audience. You're speaking directly to the people that are watching, and it's removed all of the barriers of the edits and the filters and those things. You are what you are when you're on live. And then it gives the opportunity to spread the word and support your efforts. So as you're going live, you can encourage your audience. Hey, if you are liking this, if you're liking the content we're giving you, please share this out. Hit the subscribe button, hit the, tag a friend, all of those things you can do to encourage people to also start to share this and spread this word. If they're liking what they're hearing, they're going to share it. I mean, especially if you encourage them. They may not do it because they just won't think about it. But once you encourage them, they're going to go, oh, yeah, I can hit that share button. I do like this. And then we'll talk about why live video is important. So I love good stats. Stats always are fun. And these are some recent ones that I've been able to pull that I think came out of 2022. We haven't gone far enough into 2023 yet to get some updated stats, but they're probably pretty close to these. So 80% of consumers prefer watching a live video to reading a blog. Now, that's not to say your blog isn't important, but that's to say that watching a live video clearly is something that people would rather do. What I like to do is say, take your live video, at the end of your live video, have it transcribed, make it into a blog about what you went live about, and then embed your video from YouTube into your blog. Google loves that because now Google owns YouTube and you've taken something they already have and embedded it into something else. It's going to increase your SEO, which is your search engine optimization of people finding that blog. So now you can take and kind of dual purpose it, but people are going to be more likely to watch that live video.
Very cool.
82% will prefer a live video from a brand to social posts. Now, I'm a social media manager. I make social posts every day. I'm like, oh my gosh, that's kind of a scary thing. Again, that's not to say, okay, well, now we get rid of social posts and only go live. It's never an all or nothing. You still need the social posts. You still need the static image and the copy written there to go with it. But you got to be adding in the live video too. 35% of marketers will use live video 35% of marketers use live video. They saw a revenue increase of 20% year over year. So if you are selling something, if you have a webinar people are signing up for, if you are trying to get seats into your business, leads, whatever it is you're trying to do with your business, you're going to end up seeing that revenue increase by doing live video, by getting out there and interacting. And then 78% of those who use the internet watch Facebook live videos. Now, that is a worldwide stat. 78%. That is not a US stat. That's not a UK stat. That is a worldwide 78% of people who get on the internet watch Facebook Live videos.
Wow.
That's huge. So, live video should definitely be something you're adding in to your toolkit. So, with that, let's go live. Now, I know that's easier said than done. Everybody's like, I'm not quite ready yet. We'll get you there. Authenticity, honesty, and personal voice underline much of what's successful on the web. I talked at the very beginning about authenticity. I love live video for authenticity because I am what I am. Now, people are going to go, but what if somebody doesn't like me? Guess what, guys? There's always going to be somebody who doesn't like you. There's always going to be somebody who goes, that voice doesn't work for me, or the lighting was off, or the sound was crinkly, or whatever the reason. There is always going to be somebody. You will never please 100% of people 100% of the time. Never. If you weren't going live, those people who didn't like you going live probably would have had some other reason they didn't like you. You're not going to get all the sales. You're not going to get all the business. They'd have seen a Facebook post and gone, I don't like that post. They're just negative Nancy's anyways. Don't let that stop you. Okay. So we're going to talk about the 3 main reasons why people will watch your content to begin with. So the first thing that we want to talk about before we get into these 3 reasons is every one of these things has to be providing value. What can your audience take away? So you don't want to get on and go, hey guys, we're going to go live today. And I'm going to tell you all the reasons why you should buy StreamYard. And that's all we're going to talk about. Nobody wants to watch that. They're going to go, that's a sales pitch. I don't want a billboard trying to sell me. I can go to their website and figure out the reasons why I should get StreamYard. I don't need to sit here and watch a video about it unless they're maybe on the fence. You might get a few, but chances are that video is going to be a waste of your time and your audience's time. But what you want to do is your 3 main things are education. What we're doing right here. We're teaching you, we're training you something, we're giving you that knowledge, and I'm sharing it with you. So what knowledge do you have to share? In the case of my good friend Roger, who has the plumbing business, he can share all of the plumbing, things that you can do at home without necessarily needing to call a plumber. Now you're going, but wouldn't that take away from business if I'm giving away tips on why to not have them call me? And potentially, yes. But what it's going to do is it's going to give it to where you're going to go, you know what? That was a super easy fix. And if I'd have called a plumber, he'd have charged me $200. Instead, he told me how to do it without calling him. And now, when I have that really, really big issue, he's going to be the first person I'm going to think about calling because he saved me money once. And he's going to be the person I trust to come into my house and take care of this bigger issue. So you have to think about that trade-off of going, it is okay to give knowledge away. You won't lose business. You look at some of these larger companies, Adobe, they give away training in how to use their product every day. They give away training into their users. They're not losing anything by giving away that training. They're actually gaining people because then people are going, oh my gosh, now I understand how to do this better. Now I know what I'm working towards. You can have boutiques who are giving away fashion advice. They're not losing anything because then people are going to go, man, that really was good advice. Now I'm going to go shop with them. So just kind of twist it and think about how you can shift your mindset on going, it's okay to give things away. Motivation and inspiration. So how can you motivate and inspire your community? I love good stories, good heartfelt moments, good things that, you can listen to a speaker and you can go, wow. By the end, I wasn't left with a how-to presentation, but I was left with the feels. We listen to motivational self-help books on Audible and things like that. That's what I love listening to those with my son in the car as he's riding to school. I'm like, you're 13, you're at this really tough age that we'll just have these on in the background. He's not always listening, but he'll chime in every now and then and be like, oh, that's interesting. And I'm like, okay, he does hear it. But it's that motivation and inspiration that we can leave him with. And then entertainment. Entertainment's always fun. Do you have something enjoyable to share? What can you do that's fun with your business, fun with your brand? You know, you might have a moment where somebody in the office has something that's happening in their life. It's their birthday, or you guys are having a celebration, a retirement party. Share those moments. Those are those moments that people are going, now I really feel connected to this business. I really feel connected to these people because they let me into their life. So, some ways and some ideas that you can really start to build out these live videos for your brand is hold a Q&A session and answer FAQs. Now, what I like to do is you kind of decide on a topic. You can say whether we're going to have a Q&A session around a feature, we're going to have a Q&A session around a product, we're going to have a Q&A session around a service we offer, whatever it is, or you can just say, "Hey, this is an ask me anything." Within reason. I always preface that. Ask me anything. I also I refrain the right to refuse to answer any of their ask me anythings because they can I've gotten some odd ones, but you know, you can really start to do these Q&As around a product or information you could share. Or what I'd like to say is this 10 by 10. You can take 10 questions and 10 kind of answers that you have lined up, and you can start to go through these and start to kind of frame this for them. So it's really a fun way to kind of build this out beforehand. Now, draft questions. You're going, but the audience is supposed to be asking me questions. Have questions taken ahead of time that even if you made them up, you go, you know what? I get asked every single day, how do we sign up for your affiliate program? Then I can already have that as a question and an answer. And what you can do is you can get on live and you can go, hey everyone, so we're going to hold a Q&A session today. We're going to go live and I'm going to be answering all of your questions about our business and how we can help you. However, we have some questions that were submitted ahead of time by some people who weren't able to attend live, and we wanted to make sure we answered their questions. Now, they weren't submitted by somebody else. That's okay. But what you're able to do is you're able to get this going. So you're not sitting there live going, so guys, if you have some questions, drop them in the comments and we'll get to them. And 10 minutes later, you're going, so does anybody have any questions? I'm here to answer your question. And you've now spent 10 minutes of very awkwardly sitting there going, I have questions. Does anybody have any?
Yeah.
Pre-write your questions. And that way you can go, we're going to start with these. The other thing it does is it breaks that ice to where then somebody goes, ooh, that was a good question. And it made me think of this question. Now I do have a question. Or if nobody shows up live, it does happen. If nobody shows up live, you can sit there and go, that's all right. We still got this because we're going to worry about our replay viewers as well. Our replay viewers are always going to be coming in and you're going to go, hey, you know what? We got through all the questions that were pre-submitted. Doesn't look like we have any live today. That's okay. But if you're watching the replay and you have a question, make sure to drop it and I'll come back and answer it for you later too.
That's so cool. Just one of my favorite features of StreamYard is the ability to do what Julie's saying, where you can take those questions and create banners like this one. So I'm looking at the control panel here behind the scenes. I can just pop up a banner like that. So I could have all 10 of those questions pre-formatted as banners.
Yes.
And then just pop them up one at a time, then take them down. Now they're in the replay for people to see later if they missed them during the live. But I think that's one of the coolest features. And StreamYard also allows you to post the comments right to the screen. So I could, if we had a comment right now, I could pop that on the screen and just say, Samantha wants to know about this, and
Yes.
then ask Julie what that is, or she'll see the question and can answer it in real time. But that's also another thing that helps disrupt the brain a little bit, so that it kind of brings you back to the presentation. So I just wanted to mention that.
The other thing that I really like is you could use those banners. So now if you're putting this on YouTube and you've got those banners popped in at those questions, you can use those afterwards to go into your YouTube video and add chapter markers
Mm.
which YouTube really likes. And then people can jump ahead to certain questions and go, "Ooh, actually, I just wanted to hear this one question." They can go find it in the chapter markers, jump to it. And you can also now quickly and easily find snippets that you want to clip out to repurpose into other places.
Ooh, sweet. Great,
So
great
it kind of is all
suggestion.
this, it all
Yeah.
falls together. We want to minimize the amount of work you're putting into something. So this is where I said the other thing that's beautiful about live video is you can go live and then afterwards repurpose it into your blog. You can repurpose it into a podcast if you want. You can trim it into shorter form video clips. So you've got all of this that now you can maximize and take one piece of content and make many pieces of content out of it. So you can teach a class or a workshop, much like what we are doing right here. Decide on a topic that you want to teach or that you want to find an expert speaker on. A great way to get this information is poll your community. Find out what they want to learn. Ask them, say, guys, I'm getting ready to schedule speakers for the upcoming season. What do you want to learn? What can I go find? Who do I need to reach out to so we can teach you what you want to know? Create that lesson plan, figure out if you're going to do a slideshow presentation like this. Are you going to just do a Q&A and interview style class or workshop? And don't forget that call to action at the end of everything that you're doing. Are they going to join your private community afterwards? Are they going to sign up for services such as coaching services from you? Whatever it is, at the end of that class or workshop, have that call to action for them to go do something. I like to say, guys, I want everybody to take, what you've learned today, go record a live video, create your plan. We're going to say, okay, I want you to schedule out 3 months worth of live videos once a month, determine where you're going to go, what you're going to talk about, and let me know what your plan is. And then I'll help you tailor that. And that way you've sent them away with something tangible that they can go, okay, I need to go do this. I need to go work on this and no longer hesitate on going live. I'm getting out there. And then interview. Interviews are always one of my favorite styles. I love doing an interview conversation with an expert in a field. We used to have a regular interview show on StreamYard that I did. It's on hold right now, but we would bring in other people that were doing video or marketing and what they were doing and start to interview them. So we brought on, for instance, Jen Herman, who is an Instagram expert. Now, StreamYard can't stream to Instagram directly. So everybody's going, why would you bring Instagram on to talk about it? Well, you want to promote your show. You want to repurpose your show into shorts or into Instagram reels. You want to put them up in your stories. So we can bring an Instagram expert on to talk about how we can do all of this and have an interview with her and have these questions. Have the questions prepared ahead of time for your guest. Take questions live from your audience. And again, make sure you're following up, encouraging your replay viewers to, hey, if you have any questions for Jen, drop them in the comments. I'll make sure I go reach out to her afterwards, whenever you drop this comment, and I'll go get that answer for you and come back. And then you can just type your reply as a reply in their comments. So it's starting to build that two-way conversation. So people don't feel that you're talking at them. You feel that you're talking with them. You're starting to let them know, hey, we really want to be here for you. Now you got to make sure you're doing it. If you're saying you're going to do it, make sure you're doing it. Don't
Mhm.
forget, but really start to follow up with that. It's so important. And then we talked a little bit about that behind the scenes, the employee spotlight. This is a great place to really showcase your brand. Do a tour of your offices or an on-site if you're a realtor going into, a house that you're getting ready to sell. Whatever it is that you can do and doing these lives right there that are way more informal, I like to say. I like to say the behind the scenes are kind of like that, we're going to just relax. We're going to say the front yard is our pristine, perfect, other videos that we're doing that we're really creating that professional look. And then we're going to take them to the backyard and we're just going to hang out. And that's kind of more the behind the scenes. So we want to give you some tips though to help you build your community with these videos. Number one is building that engagement. Asking the questions in your videos to get people to comment, reply with comments, with a question, keep that conversation going. Now, this is going to be something that will take time to build. As you're starting to go live, the first few times you go live, you may not get anyone showing up, and that's okay. Remember, we talked about the beginning. Jump right into your live, get going with it, start it off and say, "Hey guys, I'm so excited you're joining me today. And if you're watching the replay, drop a comment and let me know where you're watching from. I want to say hi to you too." You've acknowledged your live viewers that are live with you. You've acknowledged your replay viewers because your replay viewers are only going to tune in for so long if they're not getting the value. So, the other thing that we see a lot of people do when they first get started with live video is they hit that go live button and they sit there. Now, in StreamYard, in Facebook, in a lot of these tools, there's a little icon in the top corner of your screen that shows you how many live viewers you have. I actually recommend to people that if that bothers you, if you're distracted by trying to watch how many people are live with you and it's stopping you, kind of hindering you, put a piece of tape over it, put a sticky note over it. Don't even look at it. Make it so you cannot see that live viewer count. And now you have no idea if there are 1,000 people watching live or none. And you get in and you get right into talking to them because you'll see them where they'll hit that go live button and they go, "So I've got some things I want to talk to you about today, but we're gonna wait until we get some more viewers jumping on."
Mm.
Um, and now like 3 minutes have gone in and like one person jumped in and they're like, "Oh, okay, so we have a viewer. Let us know where you're watching from." You're like too excited.
Yeah.
Even acknowledge it. Go jump in and it doesn't matter. I like to kind of with that engagement, I start off my show and I have a ticker banner that goes across the bottom when I'm doing my countdown timer. And it says, "Tell us in the comments where you're watching from." And as we start to get people watching the show more frequently, they know that I'm going to have that ticker banner and they're going to start dropping where they're watching from before I even get that banner up and before it's even going. And they start to build that knowledge of, hey, I really want to do this. And we let them know, you know, we start interacting and start engaging with those that are in the comments and they start engaging back. And now it becomes a conversation. And you can chuckle and you can pull up a comment and be like, "Oh, Chuck is watching again. So excited to have him watching and hanging out." You get to know your viewers. And the more you acknowledge them, they go, "Ooh, they noticed that I was here again." You can be like, "Oh, look, it's Chuck from Virginia," before he's even said he's from Virginia because you remembered it. You've seen Chuck in the comments and Chuck's told you 10 times he's from Virginia. He's watched multiple shows and he's like, "Hey, I'm here and I'm watching and I'm from Virginia." Now you acknowledge him before he's even commented it and he goes, "Oh, they do notice me. They do see
Yeah.
me." And it feels good. As a
Yeah.
human, we go, "I like that feeling." So start to make sure you're building that engagement and building that time and interacting with them as much as you can. Create that consistency. The more consistent you are with your timing of your shows, the timing of your lives, the more you will build an audience that is going to come. They're going to know where you are. So we're not Field of Dreams. We're not, if you build it, they will come. It's if you build it and you are consistent and you are promoting it and you are interacting and engaging with them, they will come. There's a little bit more to the if you build it, they will come. You have to really put in all of the steps and all the pieces. So you can go, "Okay, my show is going to be every Tuesday at 11 a.m." And that's what works for me. And it's what I'm seeing works for my audience. Now, if you've built a show and you've been going live for 2 months at Tuesday at 11 a.m., and you're just noticing that you're not picking up people, you might go, "What is my show about? Am I reaching out to moms? And is Tuesday at 11 a.m. a really bad time to reach out to moms because it's in the middle of them trying to get the baby down for a nap? And maybe that wasn't the best time to reach out to my audience." Or are they busy executives that they're going, 11 a.m. is prior to lunchtime. Like I'm still in meetings. Who are you talking to? Tailor your timing to who you're talking to and then tweak it if you need to. Ask your audience. If you've only got a handful of people coming in and going, jump into your community, jump on your social media channels and goes, "Hey guys, so I've had my show going live. I know I've got a viewership because I've got people watching the replay. Is there a better time? Tell me. If there's a time that's more consistent for my audience, I need to move that. If my audience is going, actually, Tuesday at 5 p.m. would be better or 7 p.m. I might have to tweak something. Now I might go, okay, well, my kid's got soccer practice and all the things. I can't make that work. But you can start to find a balance between what works for you and what works for your audience. Because ultimately, if it only works for you and your audience can't show up, well, then they can't. They aren't going to be there. So you're not going to build that out. So make sure you're kind of really working with both sides of that. You want to enhance your collaboration. So invite people to interact with you and your audience and grow your community. This is where we said at the beginning, hey, share this out with your audience. If you really like what you're having. One of the features that we actually just launched with StreamYard is guest destinations. So if you have an interview, you're going to have a guest on and you're going to say, hey, we've got guest destinations available. Do you want to also share this over to your channels? Then you can share it over to their channels and their audience is going to start to go, ooh, this was a good show. I need to jump over and make sure I'm following them. Now, when you use that feature, make sure you're kind of, again, adding in those call to action saying, hey, so we're streaming this out to Chuck's destinations and Julie's destinations, but it's Chuck's show. Make sure that you're coming over from Julie's channels and subscribing to Chuck's channel so you can stay tuned with him and watch his other shows. You have to remind them that after this week, the interview's over and it won't be on these channels again. So pull them over and use that as an opportunity to lead them in to kind of expanding your reach, but now pulling them in to subscribe to you.
Such a cool feature. I love that.
Yeah. And it's brand new, like 2 or 3 weeks old, brand new.
Cool.
Very new. Yes.
Awesome.
Yeah. And then of course I always like to say it is collaboration over competition. Work together. If you have somebody else who's also a coach and you're going, you know what though? I specialize over here in coaching this and you specialize in coaching this. Let's work together. Let's collaborate together on an interview or a video or something you can train my audience in, because we might both be coaches, but we're reaching totally different audiences. We're not in competition with each other. And even a true competing business, there is still often ways you can find to collaborate with each other because there is enough business for everyone. There's enough humans for all of us. We will not run out, I promise. And then create exclusivity. So this is where I said at the beginning, your community is everyone. It's everyone that you reach. It is the people on your Facebook page, the people on your YouTube channels. But now you have an opportunity to start to create exclusive content in a VIP space that is just for those who come into, say, your Facebook group or your circle community or Mighty Networks or whichever community space you're using. Now you can start to go, okay, I'm reaching everybody, but I'm also going to create that exclusivity for you to really join my inner circle. And you can talk about to your public, hey guys, so I've got the StreamYard community, and over there we provide brand assets, quarterly that are exclusive to the members of our community in there. We're providing training and knowledge and information. We're sharing tips. There is something exclusive. There's a reason for you to come join me there in that behind the scenes space that is not open to the public. So this way you can start to have your wide community and now you have your exclusive community. And that's where then you're going to want to make sure you're building this community space out and you're having a place for them to have this. Now, this is kind of one of your final steps. You don't want to just on day one go, okay, I'm going to start going live everywhere and I'm going to have a community. Don't overwhelm yourself. Don't try to do it all in day one. But as you start to build this online community in your digital spaces with going live, you can go, okay, I'm seeing the same faces. I'm seeing the same people. Now it's time to start this group, start this Slack channel, start a heartbeat, whatever it is you want to, however community you want to do. You can start to build those out and go, hey, so I have something exclusive for you. Come join me over here and give those offers out to those. These are the people that are now going to become the biggest advocates for your brand. They're going to be the ones that are going to shout from the rooftops when somebody asks about who should they go to. They're going to be the ones that are going to sign up for services, use your coaching, purchase your product, whatever it is, because they are the true fans of your brand. And they're the ones that now, if you have something new coming out, you can reach out to them and be like, hey, so we've got this new feature getting ready to launch, and we want you guys to help us with this. They're going to be like, oh, they want me to be a part of this? Yes. They're doing free work for you. And they feel good about it, and they want to do it because they know they like you, they trust you, and they feel connected. They feel like they're a part of your brand. They feel like they're a part of this community space, and they really want to get involved with being a part of that. So, with that, I want to give everyone who's watching live or replay an offer. If you go to StreamYard.com/social offer, you can get 30 days of the StreamYard Pro plan for free. You can test it out. You can play around with it, start to get familiar with going live. If you have questions, you can reach out to me at any time and I will help you. We will baby step walk you through it if we need to. I'll send you to some YouTube training videos we have, but we will really get you familiar with it. The best part about that link is we don't ask for your credit card. The only thing we ask for is your email, and you get the 30 days for free. At the end of that 30 days, it just reverts you down to the free plan. And if you decide you want to continue on with it after that, then you can sign up. But we're not taking any, it's not one of those where it's like you have to enter everything. And then at the end of the 30 days, you start getting billed because you forgot to say, I don't want it. Hate those. Those are the worst. I get stuck with so many of those. I'm so bad about that. And I'm never going to remember to cancel it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah, I'd certainly encourage everybody to take Julie up on that offer. So StreamYard.com/social offer. I love StreamYard. I've been a customer for a while, and I am going to be starting to use it more and more and more. So watch for me on this platform. So Julie, how can we get in touch with you?
Well, here is everywhere that I am. I am pretty easy to find on all the social networks. Me personally, I am at Social Jules, JEWELSICT. So that is on pretty much every social channel you can find at Social Jules ICT. And then, of course, all of the StreamYard channels you can find me at. So I am at StreamYard on all of those. You can go to our website, StreamYard.com. You can email me, Julie@StreamYard.com. So super easy to find everywhere.
Really cool. So yeah, if you're interested in following Julie, go ahead and screenshot that while we've got this up. And what I wanted to wrap up with is a question for you all who are watching this. And again, for the replay folks, this goes for you as well. If you have a particular question about a use case for your particular field, either drop it in the comments now or drop it into the platform comments wherever you're watching this. And Julie and or I will get back to you. And so to lead things off, one of the things that occurs to me on one of your recent slides there, Julie, you were talking about the community and being able to bring people who are advocates or other members of your community into a live broadcast. And I think that's a very intriguing thing for members of the Studio Creators Roadmap. I'm going to go ahead and switch this back to just these two views at this point. Okay, so a number of the members in the Studio Creators Roadmap are people who do things outside.
Mm-hmm.
So they're not always sitting at their desk. In fact, I'm thinking of 3 people right off the top of my head that really their job is outside. Okay. One is we're talking about environmental educators. We're talking about firefighters. And folks who have jobs that are, that occur from inside their pickup trucks on their way to an incident, for instance. So not that you're going to be conducting a live while you run into a fire, but what I want to ask you about is the mobile capabilities in two ways. One would be where, let's say that I'm sitting at my desk and I want to bring in a guest from, another one of my associates. Let's use the firefighter example. So I'm the captain and I'm sitting here at my desk, but I know that Jenny is out there doing some training around how to, hook a hose up to a fire hydrant, something like that. How would I technically bring her into this so that she can be part of the community and part of the live using her phone?
Well, I'm gonna show you right now.
Cool.
I'm gonna use the link you sent me earlier,
Hmm.
and hold on. I had to turn that down. Had the echo. So now, if you see down in the bottom there, you can bring me up on the screen. Let me.
Wow.
I gotta.
All I had to do was
There we go.
click on Julie's picture.
Yep. And so
So-
this is my phone.
wow.
I'm on there now. I'm trying to hold it away because there will be an echo. Otherwise, my office is a mess. Don't look at that. What you see on screen and what you see off screen are very different.
Yes, but it's authentic.
It is. My house is under construction, so all the extra stuff got shoved on the floor and on the tables next to me. Yeah. So they can be on the go and log in with a guest link on their phone, just like they are here. And then
So
you can
cool.
see, I mean, I've got it held, but I would recommend a tripod or, something like that. So you can, let's see, try to get it hold there. So yeah, so you can see there, I've just got it in my hand. We'll pull it down since I know there's probably an echo with that. If you want to take it off the screen, there we go.
Okay.
Yeah. Now, if you were somebody who was saying, "Ooh, but I want to be live with my regular computer, and then I want to be live with my phone as well to have a second camera," there's a trick there that will stop that echo. So even if you mute yourself on the phone and even if you turn the volume all the way down, it still creates feedback. I think it's still doing it because I'm still in it. There we go. Now I can hear it stopped. I can hear
Yeah.
the feedback coming through. So what you can actually do is you can take an old pair of headphones and cut them, plug the plug in, but where you cut it, and that will stop the feedback echo.
Interesting.
In order to have a second camera in the same space as you, you can have your phone set up in that same space. So that's just a hack there that stops that echo. But I didn't have my cut plug near me.
Gotcha. Really cool. Yeah. Okay. So I have a question from David Flint.
Yeah.
Are you familiar with the software
Mhm.
vMix and what are the advantages of StreamYard over vMix?
So some of the big advantages over vMix is vMix requires a PC. So if you're a Mac user, you're not going to be using vMix, or at least it originally did. I don't believe they've come out with a Mac version. Don't quote me on that. It's been a while since I've looked into that. But it is a software that you have to download to your computer. So you're also going to need a little bit more robust operating system. You're going to be able to have to handle that software running. We are browser based. And by being browser based, it's less taxing on your system. So Google Chromebooks can use StreamYard all the way up to super high end fancy computers. So it doesn't have to be a super tech heavy system. And then the other huge advantage is the mobile advantage, the fact that you can do that on the go because it's browser based and it's not a piece of software you have to download. So then you're not locked into being at your computer and it's just a little easier to use. We fall under that ease of use. If you missed the beginning, David, we kind of go through a little bit that at the beginning. So definitely go back and watch the replay. But you're able to have that simple ease of use where it's a lot easier to go through.
Cool. David's got another question. What are the bandwidth requirements for StreamYard? And he says sometimes we're operating in areas with very poor cell connections.
Now that's a harder one. I've hit some areas where we tried to go live and the cell connection just was not having it. There was no internet connection that was available. And we did end up having to scrap the live on those. You are at the mercy of the connection at that point. The exact bandwidth requirement, I'm not 100% sure of off the top of my head. I know our tech team has some, I think in our help documents, we have some recommendations of minimum. I would have to go look those up. I just don't have those memorized off the top of my head. We do always say if you can be hardwired in, that is ultimately the best. Good, strong Wi Fi is the next optimal, and then a good, strong cellular connection. But if you don't have a good, strong cellular connection, it does get tricky. There's some things you can do to help with it is you can just say, okay, this is a live that I can do without showing my camera. It's one I can just do as a talking voice, and say, hey, I'm just providing you this information. So you can turn your camera off, and that helps reduce some of that. But if it is one where you're wanting to show things, unfortunately, there is a mercy of the ability to stream.
And then the other thing is the other component there is another feature of StreamYard is the ability to be in a remote area like that, David, and record something
Mhm.
and then post it when you get back to civilization.
Yeah.
So you could do a training out in the field or something along those lines, and or even a conversation with someone else, record it and then just post it inside whatever platform you want to put it onto, including StreamYard. And
Yeah.
that is one of the advantages of the special offer that Julie's talking about, because you will get the ability to do webinars, which this actually is, and that allows people to register ahead of time. I did not use that feature for this particular recording. But there are a lot of advantages in the pro plan. The basic is really great, and even the free is an awesome place to start. So if you start out on her special offer and then get drop back down to the free after a month, you're probably going to get hooked.
Yeah.
So fair warning.
Well, and the big difference is that I can kind of give some key differences. So we have the three main plans that are the free, the basic, and the pro. The free allows you to stream to one destination at a time. The basic allows you to go to 3 destinations at a time, and the pro allows you to go to 8 destinations at a time. The free, you're going to keep the StreamYard logo, will be embedded on the screen. You can't remove it. The basic and the pro, you can add in your own branding. So you can see in the top corner, it says online video mastery, where Chuck has added in his logo, his branding. So that requires a paid. The pro, you get 1080p. The basic, you're streaming in 720p. The pro, you're going to get the webinar features, where the basic you will not. So kind of just some key highlights there. So you can go and look at streamyard.com/plan, and that shows you all of our pricing options. But if you just go to our website, streamyard.com, you can click the tab to the pricing page if you forget that. The big one I want you to remember today is the streamyard.com/social offer.
Very good. All right. Well, if there are any further questions from people as you think of this, make sure you drop them into whichever platform you're watching this on, or if you're a Roadmap member, just ping me inside the Roadmap. Julie's also a member in the Roadmap, so just type @JU, and somewhere around there, you're going to see her name pop up as a possibility, and you can just ping her. And David, I will get back to you, either Julie or I will, with those specific bandwidth requirements. So we'll
Yeah,
get
I'll
those
go
to
hunt
you.
those up.
Sounds great. Julie, well, thank you so much. I'm going to put your slide back up. I think, how do I do this? I just go like this.
That
Yeah,
one?
just wanted to put up your
We'll give them
how
that
to,
one first.
yeah, there's the social offer. And then also wanted to share the how to get in touch with Julie slide.
Yes.
So we really appreciate it. Thank you all very much for being with us today. And I'm going to end this broadcast at this time. Thanks so much.
Bye, everyone.